Hey guys, welcome to Sal's Kitchen. This show is all about cooking, baking, and trying out new recipes. Today, we're making a classic dinner, butter chicken. Let's get cooking. Okay, so to start off, we're going to need about 1 pound of boneless chicken. We're going to cut the chicken into about 1-inch cubes. We don't want the pieces to be too small that they become shredded as we cook them, or too big that they don't absorb the flavors and spices. You can use either chicken breast or chicken thighs. I prefer to use chicken breast since it has less fat and a higher protein content. So let's get chopping. Once we've chopped up all that chicken, we're going to grab a big bowl. We'll transfer all of the chicken into that bowl and get ready to add the spices to marinate the chicken with. To marinate the chicken, we're going to add 1 teaspoon of ginger garlic minced. I use freshly minced garlic and ginger, but you're welcome to use the paste found in many stores. We're going to add 1 teaspoon of red chili powder. You may want to reduce this depending on your spice tolerance. And about half a teaspoon of salt. And finally, as a meat tenderizer, 3 tablespoons of plain yogurt. We're going to get in there and mix all those spices up with the chicken. Marination is a really important step in cooking. It allows the meat to sit with the spices and yogurt we just added, and really helps to bring out that flavor in the butter chicken, or in any other dish for that matter. Make sure all the pieces are well coated with the marinade. We're going to let this sit for about 30 minutes. You can leave it for longer than that, but definitely not less. Next, we're going to julienne or thinly slice a medium to large sized yellow onion. First, cut it straight down the middle. Then, take one of the halves and start chopping uniformly sized, thin slices. We're going to fry the onions in just a bit, so having them all thinly sliced will allow them to cook evenly and have a better texture when cooked. Now it's time to dice 2 tomatoes. We want the pieces to be finely diced, since this will make it easier to saute and simmer them when we make the sauce. Something like this size, about 1 inch. The tomatoes are key ingredients in butter chicken. They enhance the creamy texture of the sauce and contribute to the famously rich orange color. Finally, we're at the part where we make the sauce. First, as the name indicates, we need 2.5 tablespoons of butter. We're going to melt this over a high flame in a sauce pot. So use your wooden spoon and move the butter around in there as it melts. We want the butter to melt, but not brown or burn. Now the butter is almost melted, so it's a good time to get your julienne onions. We're going to let the onions caramelize in the butter for about 5 minutes. We don't want the onions to start burning. After about 5 minutes, the onion should become a perfect golden caramel color, like this. Now, we'll add another teaspoon of freshly minced garlic and ginger. Just mix it around in there with the onions for about a minute or so until everything becomes fragrant and golden. Now, add in the diced tomatoes and reduce the heat to medium to low flame. Just make sure to give it a good mix for a few seconds. We're going to let the tomatoes absorb that flavor of caramelized onion and the fragrance of the garlic. Now, we're going to season the sauce. We're going to take 1 teaspoon of red chili powder, half a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of garam masala. You can find this in most Indian stores. 2 tablespoons of vinegar. And for the creaminess, 6 tablespoons of milk. We're just going to mix it around for a little bit. And for some extra flavor, we're going to add 1 teaspoon of dried fenugreek leaves. We're just going to give it 1 quick stir and let it simmer for 15 minutes. In the meanwhile, let's fry our marinated chicken cubes. Melt about 2 tablespoons of butter, just like we did when we made the sauce. Once it's almost melted, add in the chicken and all of the marinade. We're going to fry these pieces for about 5 minutes. After about 5 minutes, the color becomes golden, just like this. Just to make sure the chicken is completely cooked, I like to simmer a little bit longer, for about 15 more minutes. Now, back to the sauce. You can see that everything is now creamy and mushy. But just to make it extra creamy, we're going to use an immersion blender to blend all of that goodness together. This is a really important step. We want the sauce to be creamy and smooth, not lumpy, so take your time blending. You want your sauce texture and consistency to look something like this. Lastly, we're going to add the chicken to the sauce and let them both absorb all the flavors for a few more minutes. Finally, it's ready to serve. Just look at it. The rich creaminess of the sauce, the blend of flavors, and the aroma of spices makes this a delicious dish, a classic dinner that never gets old. Thanks for watching, and I hope you'll be trying this recipe soon. Make sure to comment on how your butter chicken turned out and let me know what other recipes you want me to make and share with you all in the future. If you like this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe so you'll be notified of all my up and coming new recipes. Thanks!